Hey, go crazy, go stupid, go crazy, go stupid. It's the party, time to slide the cash and vibe, Get your dog, gon' get ready, time to ride, Got your hair done, and your hair cut. Makeup poppin', fellas got the Rolex. Go crazy, go stupid, go crazy, go stupid. It's a cool Friday night and yeah, I'm trying to catch a vibe. All the dogs just hit my phone and told me peace, it's time to ride. You know that I'm dead fresh every time my nigga slide. Face the first when I be moving, keep the toolie on my side, cause I'm
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is Sgt WarDawg, and guess what, baby? You know, as usual, your favorite crazy Marine sergeant, fresh out of the psych ward, but this time I'm not talking my normal crazy subjects with you. We are stepping outside of the 2A space today. We're stepping outside of the military and true crime. Today, we are going to do something I've been meaning to do for a very long time. All right. My main show is up to 170 episodes, but of those 170 episodes, I have only about 15 episodes with women, and that's my fault. That's my bad. But today we change all of that, damn it. I'm about to do something about it, all right? You know me as a Marine Sergeant, I need tangible results. I don't want to just talk about it. I like to be about it. So today we start episode 1 of a new show on my network, WarDawg Ladies, all right? And WarDawg Lady is simply a mentality, okay? This is a shout out and a salute to the women who hold down all the many titles and hats that they wear, especially, you know, being a man. We all know when we look to our mothers, our grandmas, aunts, godmothers, family members, we all see all the amazing things they do at the exact same time, all right? We all see that they can take care of us and cook and clean and hold down jobs and do you know, many other things that we don't give them enough credit for. All right, that's what WarDawg Ladies is all about. Because on top of everything that we normally see them do, whether we know, notice, or give them credit for or not, when you add the fact that some of them can do that and hold a gun, well, baby, that's what time it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the kind of thing now to get the sergeant hype, man. When I can see them do all these things, be leaders, CEOs, mothers, and those specific few that can also handle a weapon, that aren't afraid of it, that even if they were afraid, they faced their fears and they decided to add that to their repertoire of skills and skill sets. That's all the WarDawg Ladies is all about, all right? So don't get caught up. I know some people might think it's about having a qualification or a look or a certification or being from a certain area. Hell no. This ain't none of that. This is my own personal salute and shout out to amazing females doing amazing things from around the world. And as I said, I've talked to many, you know, war veterans, prisoners, bounty hunters, whomever. But I only had about 15 episodes, I realized, where I was actually talking to amazing females. So, as I said, today I end that, decide to change that and improve on that. But first, before we bring out today's first and amazing guest, let's do the usual and go over some announcements. All right, first off, you know, you can find my book, The WarDawg Trail, A Marine Rifleman's Struggle with War and PTSD, on Apple Books, Audible, Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and many other retailers around the world. You know, I'm a Marine grunt. I served 3 tours in Iraq, all right? I was there the very first day we entered the country. We entered Iraq as a Marine saw gunner with an M249 in my hands. Damn it! All right, you know I was about that action. You know I was about that gunplay. That's just how I get down. I love SWAT teams. I love manhunting. Now, after my 3 tours, you know I struggled with finding the will to live. All right. For me, it wasn't substance abuse. For me, it wasn't many of the other issues that hit veterans. I just couldn't find the will to want to live, breathe, hold on anymore. All right. Now, you know, that's the story that you can catch, though, in my book, The WarDawg Trail. You remember my book won an award from Book Authority, one of the best Iraq war books of all time. Pictured, you know, I was one of the first Marines to enter Baghdad back in 2003 with Dark Side, the 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines out of 29 Palms, California. Continuing on, you know, I have my nonprofit, all right, Camp Doghouse, located in Hollapaw, Florida, at campdoghouse.org. All right. Remember, back in 2018, after many years of me not touching guns, not doing much of anything, to be real with you, back in 2018, after me realizing that I needed to, you know, go through my own years of therapy, help, medication, in 2018, I decided to go off grid for the first time and reignite some of the things that I had let go of as a Marine. All right. I went out to Hollapaw, Florida. I went out there with an AR-15, a 45, a tent. I bought a box of MREs from Amazon, a spool of concertina wire, which is barbed wire, some chem lights, and I went off grid by myself out in the wild. And I had a rebirth that I can never explain to anyone in the world. I forgot what I was good at in this world. I forgot the things that I naturally knew, whether it was, like I said, putting a tent together, because I'm from the city of Orlando, Florida. So being a city boy, being in the urban areas, I forgot all the things off grid that I already knew how to do. Whether it was living in the woods, whether it was surviving in the desert with 3 tours in Iraq, I forgot who I was. But that is why at this same location in Hollapaw, Florida, I decided to create Camp Doghouse as my homeless war veteran shelter. Now, I remember back in October of 2025, I finally got my 501c3 approval. So I am now in the process of trying to acquire grants and funding so that I can build my own homeless war veteran shelter in the Central Florida area. We know we've all heard people say stuff like, you know, damn, I wish they just take all them crazy ass veterans and put them on a planet by themselves. You know, take all them crazy ass dudes from the war and just, you know, put them off somewhere by themselves. Well, that's exactly what I did. All right. That's exactly my plan of what I'm trying to do. All right. You know, I'm all about any man or woman's redemption, picking themselves up, you know, whatever they've struggled through in life, whatever hard times. I'm all about seeing and saluting anyone that takes the time to attempt. All right. Because all that matters to me is that attempt, man. You meet any sergeant in your life, remember, that is their point, is to try to help you. All right. A sergeant's place is to try to, you know, help you survive, help you win, help show you the way. All right. Now, I'm not saying I'm in a position to do that, but that is what I'm trying to do with Camp Doghouse. I am at least making the attempt. All right. I told you one of my last life goals. I still haven't figured out why I'm still alive. You know, other than having my daughters and you know, being a part of them being able to be born, I haven't figured out why I didn't check out during my 5 trips where I needed to be hospitalized for suicide. Those 5 times when I gave up, when I told the VA, I'm done with this shit, I need to check out. You either need to help me or somebody needs to put me down. That's what Camp Doghouse is for. That's what Camp Doghouse is all about. I don't care what you've been through, whether it's dealing with a war, dealing with coming out of jail, prison. I really don't care. I'm all about helping anyone find that, plateau, or find that platform or whatnot, to help them propel themselves to wherever it is that God or life has for them to go. So head over to campdoghouse.org and you can find out about more about what I'm trying to do with veterans in the Central Florida area. All right, remember, this stream is airing on, actually right now we're on 8 separate locations live right now. All right, you can catch this episode as well as the entire 24/7 Sergeant WarDawg TV stream on 8 separate platforms now. All right, that is Fire TV, search for the Sgt WarDawg TV app. Roku, search for the Sgt WarDawg TV app. Google Play, the SergeantWarDawgTV.com website. And for this specific episode, I change it up a lot with the social media platforms, but this episode's rolling live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble. So again, that is 8 separate locations that you can find this specific episode. All right, remember, I became a TV app reseller, all right, for TV app builders. So if you are a creator who has been trying to get your content on TV, baby, let me tell you, you will not find an easier option in 2026 to get yourself in front of possibly 100 million users on Roku or 250 million users on Fire TV than by using an option like what I have now with TV App Builder. Remember, you can head over to creatortvnetworkbuilder.com to find out about what I can do to help you get your content on TV, and the actual platform, though, where you will build and design your own custom TV app is at apps.sergeantwardawgtv.com. Now, remember, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your genre is, what your niche is. I really just want to help any creator out there get themselves on Roku and Fire TV. All right, remember, this one platform will build one app that will help you get on both platforms, just like you see me now. All right, and I recently had a client approved within the last week or so. All right, his specific niche happens to be home renovations. All right, so he invited me on his audio only podcast. He asked me, "Hey, Sergeant, how can I, do the TV thing, get on Roku and whatnot?" And I told him, "Man, I'm actually the plug. You don't need to go to anybody except talk to me." I got him set up. We let him design his app, helped him with any questions along the way, and then individually, he was able to get himself approved by Roku and by Fire TV. So now you can go to both platforms and search for his channel and his app, Home Renovation IQ, and I can do this exact same thing for you. All right, doesn't matter what your genre is, doesn't matter what your subject is. All right, if you want to stop being on TV, social media alone in 2026, all right, if you are ready to enter OTT, over the top television, or CTV, connected TV, all right, all that means is the devices that you see on the screen. All right, the actual TV devices that you plug into your TV. All right, that's all OTT is. That's all CTV is. All right, I was able to learn my own way around it, learn my own way to configure things to get things set up for Sgt WarDawg TV, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, in addition to helping you with a TV app, remember, I now teach classes over on school. Okay, so anything that you see me doing, all right, any form of creating, all right, you remember I self-published my own book, and then I got that distributed to Audible, Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, all right, as well as podcasts, and now even with TV, all right? If you want to learn anything that you see me doing, whether that's even including getting your own trademarks, all right? Because remember, I told you I did many years ago find another veteran using my name, Sgt WarDawg, and woo, baby, that pissed me off so bad. because he don't know what I went through to grind and survive as a Marine to even, stand on my name. So even if you're interested in things as simple as trademarking your name or your brand, I have done it myself, and I can help you do the exact same thing. And I do that with 11 courses I have offered right now over on school.com/Sgt WarDawg TV. All right. That's enough of my talking for the day. We can find us on Fire TV and on Roku, but I'm ready to break out today's amazing guest. All right. She's an amazing woman that I happen to see on Instagram. All right. And just as I mentioned, she immediately qualified in my mind as someone I would like to speak to and designate as a war dog lady. All right. Because she can not only hold down her own in what I've seen in gardening as a foodie and as a planner. All right. But she is also a hellified woman with a gun. And that's the shit that gets me hyped. All right. As a Marine, when I see a woman that can do all of those things above and handle a weapon, that's why I had to bring her on, y'all. All right. Let's see. Without further ado, all right, I don't want to hold things back anymore. I want to welcome to the world, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Gina Williams from Ohio. Also, Gina versus Gina on Instagram. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. What an introduction. What a lengthy. But yes, I am Gina versus Gina, and I'm actually Gina versus Gina on Instagram, on YouTube, and Facebook. Now, I just created a Facebook account recently. So I'm just getting started over there. Most of my content is probably on the YouTube side. I'm just getting, probably in the last 3 or so years, getting more consistent on the Instagram side, posting content. I'm also on TikTok as Gina versus Gina, which I don't post over there very much. But Gina versus Gina, let's start there. A lot of people ask me, where did the name come from? Because it's always me against me. There's always something up here going on. I'm always, that's why I'm so layered. It's always something. It's me against me. I'm always trying to be better at whatever I do. I'm trying to grow, learn, just perfect whatever craft it is that I catch interest in. I do content across different genres. I do gardening, as you mentioned. Um, I do content on budgeting, content on cooking, prepping, freezer prepping, canning, and of course, firearms. So, firearms is probably the newest content for me. I've only been doing that for probably 2 or 3 years now. And I'll just start with how I got there.
Yes, please, please.
I
I'm sorry. Actually, do
I
you
was
mind? Can we start with your hometown and where you from? That sort of.
I'm from I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
All right.
Yes. Yes. So I was there was a channel that felt, you know how YouTube will feed you content that they think you might be interested in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there was a channel that fell into my feed, and the channel was My Fly Family. And I was like, I wasn't doing anything. I was like, let me see what they were live. And I was like, let me see what they're talking about. And they were a 2A channel, but they were a 2A family channel. So the husband, wife, and son were all part of this channel. And at the time, their son was 11. And I started watching them. I would comment here and there. And probably by the second or third time I followed them, I won something on their channel, and they wanted me to come up on the panel. And I did, and we got to talking, and I mentioned I was from Ohio, and somebody else was on the panel that was an instructor from Ohio, from my city, like literally probably 15 to 20 minutes from where I am. And at that time, I hadn't taken the leap into the 2A space. I had been talking about it for years, but never met up with anybody for instruction or anything like that. And so he was like, I can meet up with you for instruction if you want to, da da da. And I was like, sure. Like, absolutely. No, I don't know you. I wanted to, but I was leery because I'm like, this is social media. Like, I don't know you. You could be, it could be anything.
You damn right. You got to be careful like that.
And the couple that was channel it was, they weren't even from Ohio. So they're from Georgia. And so I'm like, I kind of just said yeah and smiled, and we just went on about our ways. Another time I was there, it got brought up again. And I was like, you know what? Let me just stop being scared. I know my city. I've been here my whole life. Let's connect. Let's do this. And we met up. We did instruction. It was smooth. He was about his business. And from the first moment, now of course I didn't walk in and shoot a gun, but within that day I did. We went over fundamentals and things like that first, and safety and all that stuff. And then he asked me, was I comfortable? Did I feel comfortable to shoot anything today? We don't have to, blah, blah, blah. I was like, sure. And from that moment, it went crazy from there. From my first time shooting, I was like, I'm all in. The fear was gone. The thoughts in my head behind firearms was gone. And it was just full force from there. So that was probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that first year, I think I had purchased 6 firearms.
Say what?
For myself.
Hold on. You went from 0 to 6 for real? Okay, if you don't mind, I'm curious. Which 6? Which were your first 6 that you jumped on?
My first one was a Canic.
Okay.
Then I got the Beretta APX A1. These they were all 9mm. Then I got a Platypus, and then I bought my carry. Finally, I got a SIG P365,
nice.
And I also got the Walther PDP.
Nice.
And then and then after that, no, right around that same time, I won another Platypus. No. So I was at an event that Stealth Arms was at, and they gave away a Platypus, and I won. So I ended up with 2 Platypus, but I actually sold one of them this year. I don't remember. But my first 6 guns were all pistols.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
May I ask now? I'm just a little curious. When you jumped into these 6, I mean, did you I don't know, did you research them on your own, or what made you, want to choose those specific guns that you ended up choosing?
The guy that I did instruction with, he's a Canic guy. So I had shot a Canic with him, of course, and I liked it. So I was like, I want to get one of these. So he actually had 2 of the Canic TP9, and he sold me one of his. So that was my first firearm. The Beretta, I actually went into that one blind. That was my only purchase that I wish I would have did more research before I purchased it. Because I didn't like it. I purchased it, had never shot it before, and I did not like the trigger. I learned to find out that I'm a little bit of a trigger snob because I had shot things with better triggers. So So I actually did a giveaway on my YouTube channel last year and gave that gun away. And I wanted it to go to a female in the community. that it could possibly be a carry for her because it was a 3.5 inch barrel. It wasn't a really big. It was bulky still, but it wasn't a really a full size firearm. And it actually was won by a female who has trained with it and everything. So she likes it. I feel like if you don't start where I started, you probably can appreciate a firearm like the Beretta that I had. But because I started with some nicer pistols, I was a little spoiled. So
Right.
that was a little bit of a problem for me. The platypus, I follow. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, a regular gun guy,
Oh yeah.
and
I've done.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was his event that I won my second platypus at it, by the way.
Regular
But
meetup. One of the
yep, the
ARMs.
meetup. Yep, it
Okay.
was Arm 4, and they had Arm
Oh,
4
cool.
here in Dayton, Ohio,
All
and I
right.
won my second platypus there. But he was connected with Stealth Arms a lot back then, and had them on his channel all the time. And people were talking about how you could go on there and design it yourself and blah blah blah. So I went on there playing around one day, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get one. That was actually a decision I'm not sad about. Those are some nice firearms. It's a nice pistol. So that's how I got my first one. It's not a. So this is another problem for me. I think that I never recognized either the range in which firearms could cost. So it wasn't until I would
Yeah.
discuss things that I had that I realized that I was spending quite a bit on my firearms when I didn't feel like I was. I thought I was getting deals. And they're like, no, that's that's a little like my platypus my first one was a $1,700 gun, and I didn't know that wasn't a thing that people just did until I talked about it. So I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I need to look more. But then when I purchased after that Beretta fiasco, I never purchased another one that I hadn't shot before. Of course, I didn't shoot the platypus first, but I saw a lot of people who had reviews on them. So I did do some research. But when I got my carry, I did a lot of homework. So for me coming into the gun space as a woman, I had so many questions, and there was not a lot of female creators providing content with these answers. So one of the things I wanted to know is what are women carrying? I see what all the guys are carrying. The 2A space is full of them. So I'm seeing what they're carrying. I'm seeing how they're carrying, but I'm not a man, and I want to know how the women are carrying and what they're carrying. I don't want to know so I can go get what they have. I want to know what they're carrying and why they chose it. And then I can go out and go to my range and maybe rent that and see if I like it and go from there. But understanding why somebody chooses the firearm that they have, as especially for a woman, even for a man though, but especially for me as a woman, for a woman, it helped me in making my decision and what I was going to carry, because there was no way I was going to be carrying that Canik. That's a full size pistol. It's bulky. Like, I'm not concealing that. It's not happening. So I started looking into different ones that I might like. I tried a SIG, I liked it, and I went with that. The PDP, same thing. I was at the range. Actually, the guy I was doing instruction with was trying. He rented one because he had heard some things a lot about him. He didn't like it. I loved it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting one of these." And it's funny because we went to the range another time, and they had one with an optic on it, and then he liked it. I was like, the optic don't make the gun better. Well, but for him it did. So whatever. But I liked the PDP flat, the gun when I shot it. So I knew that was going to be one that I was going to add to my collection. So yeah, I started just doing more research, like seeing what people were saying when I would go online, and I started finding more women who look like me. Not that I don't follow other women, because I do, but I found more women that look like me. I mean, dope people on Instagram. Most of them are on the Instagram side, which is why I had a hard time finding them, because I was looking on the YouTube side. But
Okay.
I've been able to find so many of them. Nina De La Flores, she was doing content almost daily on how she carries, and wearing, being a woman and wearing your summer stuff and a halter top or whatever, or shorts, and still being able to carry, and with how she's setting herself up to do so. Those were important videos for me, because that's the kind of stuff I needed to see. Because as women, we're not out here with a t-shirt and some shorts. Y'all got it simple, you know, a polo and some shorts or something. We out here
Right,
trying to be cute,
right, right.
you know. So knowing how to still keep it cute, but still be able to carry one body. Now there's always the option of off body, and I carry both ways. I but knowing keeping it cute was important to me. So I shout out to all the ladies who are doing that. I'm starting to see more of that now. I actually saw two people do it today. In their comments about it on Instagram, like, we need to do this more, all of us, including myself, because I know that's a question that most women have. How are you keeping other people from knowing you have it? I think as a woman, we want to make sure it's, for me, I'm more comfortable with you not knowing, because I feel like, I don't, first of all, I don't make people uncomfortable, because I'm not doing it for that. But also, I don't want somebody to target me because they know I am.
Right.
So yeah, I think that was for me some of the important things. So when I started doing content, my original content was mostly kind of that. My first thing I did was somebody who challenged me to do something. Um, I don't even remember. I think it was my grab five and flee. So if I had to flee, what five guns would I pick? Don't ask me what they were, because I don't even remember. That was so long ago. I don't even remember what the five were. And that was my entry into doing any kind of 2A content, because I kind of strayed away from it, because I'm like, I'm new. I don't know. I don't need people asking me questions. I'm learning myself. And they're like, no, that's the beauty of it, is that you don't have, you could come to people in a very beginner way. You're not talking over their head. All those things. You're kind of coming, meeting them where they are, with somebody who may not be a part of the community, or may be very new themselves. So I just kept it simple. I talked about stuff like how I carry, what setup I had, what I carried, why I chose it, the things that I had questions of. I answered those in my videos, so that if somebody else came along who had those questions, hopefully they could stumble upon me and they can get those answers, and it helped them.
May I ask you about like timelines, or like which about what year was it when you started, learning, and then becoming coming online, and becoming an instructor later? About what years were these going on?
22 is when I started instruction, to where I learned how to use a firearm. And then I didn't become an instructor until this year. I got my NRA.
Congratulations.
hmm I got NRA certified in March and USCCA certified in April.
All right, that's what's
hmm
up. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um, how about that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about, because I don't get to talk to females as often as I would like to, or which I now plan on doing. Can you talk to me more about the preferences of like how you like to carry concealed. I mean, do you prefer more like in your handbag or on your body, on the thigh, on an ankle, on a, you know, on a, can you talk to me about your preferences?
If I'm carrying on body, which most times I am, I don't carry off body as much. Probably when it's hot, I'm probably gonna carry off body more so than on because it's hot
Right, right,
outside, and so I'm not skinny. I be sweating. I don't want it.
right.
So when I carry on body, I mostly do the belly band. That's the most
Okay.
comfortable for me. But I also have for like, say for instance, I'm wearing something that doesn't have like that's leggings or something like women can wear. I have a clip that goes on my pants so that I can holster onto it. So sometimes I'll carry that way when I'm on body. I think for women, it's very difficult to find the right holster setup for us because
Right.
it ain't like I could go somewhere and try them. I wish that was a thing. That was the part that probably irritated me the most because I've spent a lot of money on holsters
Yeah.
that I don't like. So you're just stuck with them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Got
and
a
they're
whole
not
collection of them you don't even like or use, right?
and they're not cheap. So when I can't remember how I stumbled onto the belly band, but when I did, it's just comfortable for me. I don't have to worry about having some kind of holster that's poking into me when I sit down or something. It's just a more comfortable way to carry for me. And then off body, I have a couple of crossbody bags. I don't do any purse carry. So both of them, they're different companies, but I have a couple crossbody bags that you have like a little pull or magnetic pull to get to your firearm across your body.
So can you put me on game on that part? Because obviously, as a dude, I mean, I'm aware of them and seen some, but what are some of the brands that you might I don't know like or see as far as women's carrier, whether it's purses or the crossbodies or whatnot?
So for me, I have, and I'm affiliated with them as well. I have a 945 bag
Okay,
um, that I carry with, and 945 has the little. It usually it's like a little tab that hangs out the top of the bag. It really is probably not even that noticeable to most people, but if you had to grab it open, it just snatches open, and you have access to your firearm. Depending on which side of the body is going to depend on for you, because you can cross it either way, left-handed or right. Um, and then the other one that I got, I haven't worn it yet. I want it, and I don't remember off the top of my head the company that bag is with, and I'm supposed to do a review on it. I need to get my life together. Um, I've seen the reason I got involved with 945 bag is because most of the men that I noticed in the community were wearing them.
right,
I didn't see
right.
women.
That is a
I
very good
saw the
bag to
men.
choose from.
Yes. I saw I would see like Black Rambo. Our regular gun guy had one. I didn't see that he had one, but he brought it to my attention that he did. But apparently he carries with one too. But I've seen lots of fellas do it, so I reached out to them because I was like, maybe because maybe it'll work out for me, like for a woman carrying, and I like that bag. I do. It's actually comfortable. It doesn't. It's still so like it cross bodies, but it has like a strap that goes around you as well to keep it kind of firm against your body. So it's not like you can fumble. You shouldn't be fumbling on the draw.
Right.
But yeah, and anything that you have, any way you're carrying, you just got to practice with it. If you're going to carry off body, practice having to draw that weapon from that concealment, like whatever it is. So yeah, but I haven't done any of the purse ones,
Okay.
and I do want to try like a bra holster. I haven't tried that yet. I've never done a thigh holster. That's probably never going to be a thing for me. These I got thick thighs. I don't need it. Mm-mm.
um, can I ask you then, with female carry, concealed carry, does that automatically mean, like personally for you, You probably prefer the subcompact sizes of guns versus the full size most of the time.
If it's on body, absolutely subcompact. If it's off body, I'll carry a full.
Okay,
Off
that's what's
body,
up. Yeah, that's
yeah.
what's up.
My preference is a full pistol, a full length pistol. I don't like these shorter barrel pistol. Oh, yeah. Give me a 5-inch pistol any day. Like, don't they be? No, that's my preference. And you get, like I tell people, you get used to it. Everybody isn't going to be comfortable with a full size pistol. They can be heavier, depending on the manufacturer, or depending on how nicely made pistol it is. So for some people, it's just too heavy to have. I've gotten used to them, so I don't feel the weight. When I first shot them, of course they were heavy, but now it becomes muscle memory.
Good deal. I want to ask you something like kind of raw and real because I feel I can ask you this and I can't ask everybody. All right. Now as men, as black guys in the 2A space, I personally feel as a Marine, all right, that most of society does not like to see black people with guns unless you're in a military or law enforcement uniform. As a female black 2A creator, can you give me any of your opinion on any of that or comments you might have gotten from people or and just your general.
I could just speak on the general because I haven't had anyone comment on it. Actually, most people who know it creates intrigue for them to get involved. So it's not usually ooh, you doing what? But I feel like the reason I prefer, because I'm in Ohio. Ohio, everything goes. I can open or conceal carry. Um, However, I prefer to conceal carry because, yeah, I'm the people I talk to. Again, they look like me, so most of them
Okay.
anyway. Um, and I'm sure that if I was open carrying and I was just out and about, people would be uncomfortable with that, regardless of the fact that I'm a woman, because there's a stereotype around the color in general, not just male to female. You know, they think that we be out here rough too.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just, the perception that some people may have. Do I think everybody thinks that and will feel that way? No. I get a lot of people from other ethnicities that are very excited about the fact that I'm involved in 2A.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Hmm.
Definitely. I have to admit to you, that is something that I personally had to struggle with wrapping my head around, right? Because as a Marine rifleman, those two they go hand in hand for me, right? So when
Hmm.
I first personally was running into issues or people or comments, it kind of used to blow me away that I was realizing that people had that mindset. Because I don't know, it was bothering me that I was like, well, damn, if I'm getting this kind of treatment and I'm a Marine grunt and I'm a rifleman, and obviously those two go in two and two together, I can't imagine what other fellas or other females might have been going through or facing. So I
Hmm.
have to admit that is something that really used to initially kind of piss me off when I
Hmm.
first started my YouTube back in like 2019. Is that I didn't
Hmm.
realize society was really like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, it's probably people who are not very 2A friendly, more than people who are. I've had so many people come to me since, like, even when I was getting my certification, my NRA certification, the person who both classes I did were instructed by women. Okay, both of them, my NRA and my USCCA. So the women are out here. But when I was doing my NRA certification, she came to me at the end of it. She was like, "You have a special group of people that you can reach that I can't. She was like, not just women, but you got black women. So get out there,
Wow.
bring them in, teach them, get them certified, so they want to see us out there. Some.
Okay, that's what's up there. And
Mhm.
now, how about if any females were to come to you to ask, like how can they become 2A influencers or how can they get into the 2A game? You have any kind of advice that you would give to any of them that are trying to
As
get
far as
started?
an
As far as
influencer, or
yeah, if
just
they were
getting
trying to
into stuff.
become instructors or have a YouTube channel like you, would you have any advice for them on I don't know what to do or how what to learn or if somebody came
Well,
and said, I want to do exactly what you do, Gina versus Gina. I want to have my Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth. I want to learn the weapons. I want to become an NRA or other type of instructor.
hmm I first would want to know if they've ever had any firearms instruction, because some people just know how to use them because maybe my dad showed me when I was growing up, or
Right,
maybe when I got
right.
grown, my boyfriend took me to the range with him a few times. I literally just did a class last weekend, and there was a husband and wife there, and the wife's like, "Well, my husband got me XYZ," and I'm like, I look at him and I said, "Why are you buying her gun? Because how do you know what she needs, what she wants?"
You're right.
I
That
said,
is a
"No,
very good point. Because I'm sorry, I
no."
didn't even think about that myself. You need to account for their preference and what fits them. And so, see, that's why I'm glad I got you on because you even just opened my eyes up right there.
Yeah,
A
because a
man
lot
should
of
not
men,
be telling a woman, a man should not be buying a, yeah, you just opened my eyes to that. No, we shouldn't be
because
stepping
how
on
do you know
toes
what
and,
she wants?
yeah, damn, you
Yeah,
just put me on game.
yeah.
Ooh, you
Because
just put
just
me on
like,
game.
I look at it like this: even if you with your homeboy, your best friend, whoever, your cousin, your brother, whoever, and they have a XYZ, for them to just assume that you're gonna like it,
It's
no.
wrong.
I mean, how
That's
many firearms have
wrong.
you picked up and that you were like,
Ooh,
I mean, it's all right.
ooh.
I mean, but it ain't my cup of tea, but it's cool.
Oh, you just opened my eyes. I'm so sorry. I've been so slow to realize that. And that's why I'm glad I was able to, link up with you and even have this discussion. I can't believe my whole life you because that has been the natural way for that's been the natural way for most of us to think is like,
Yes.
we think we should
If
be
I
able
like
to
it, you're gonna
to
like it. You're gonna love it.
um,
I got this dope pistol. You gonna love it. Let's meet at the you gonna love it. Trust me. And then you shoot it, you be like, huh? It's all right.
especially when you find out there are other models and whatnot that are more conducive to their hands or hand size or the trigger pull or
Yes,
I feel so bad that you
yes.
just put me on game like that that I have been
Or just think
completely
about this.
overlooking.
Glock is such a firearm that most people have heard of. If you come into that space, or even if you haven't, Glock is just a well known name out there. I have to this day not touched or shot one ever. Didn't even know, actually, hadn't heard of one really. But when I did, I was like, oh, I heard that name before. But by that time, I had like so many firearms that I was like, well, what's special about this Glock that you guys speak of? And I think the bigger thing with Glock, I have found out, this is what I hear most of the people who are Glock people, the reliability of it. You definitely want a firearm that's going to be reliable. I don't care what make it is, who's the manufacturer. You want something that when you get ready to do what you need to do, may it be at the range or whatever the situation, it's going to do what it's built to do. Period. But
Exactly.
there's so many other ones out there that are reliable too. And not that I'm knocking Glock, I don't know what to compare it to because I've never shot one. But
Right.
most people, because they've heard of one, if you're a Glock guy and you start dating somebody who shows interest in 2A, you probably gonna get her a Glock or suggest a Glock.
That's how it goes. That
You
is how it
know,
goes.
and there's so many other ones out there. And yeah, she might get comfortable with that Glock. And that's what I find too. When men have bought the gun for the woman, she says how much she loves it, but she's just gotten comfortable with it. And if I have some things out there at the range, I'm like, I know you said you love this, but I want you to shoot this and just see what you think. And he'd be like, oh, like go to when you go to that indoor range, if they have a store in there, rent something. Just go rent it because it's cute. Rent it because it's whatever. I don't care what your reason for choosing that particular one to rent that week. But rent something, try it, and you might find that you are putting yourself in a box when there's so much out there that you could be actually have that can be more conducive to what you want and what's going to be more comfortable for you. All because you got used to this one thing because it probably was cute to you that he bought it. That's what it was. My man bought me a. Don't blame
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It
Let
is
me.
like that. It is like that. It is. Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
If you don't
And it's
mind,
not
I
a
want to
game.
take
So
this time.
no. Uh-huh.
I want to take this time. I know you've mentioned it already, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen again. Can you let everyone know one more time everywhere they can find you online? I have your Instagram on the screen.
Yes. And it's on. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Oh, and TikTok. Now I can tell y'all where y'all gonna see most of my content is Instagram and YouTube. I'm trying to develop a, a Facebook page. It just started literally this week. But my Facebook will mostly cover just gardening stuff. Facebook is not 2A friendly, so it ain't gonna be no 2A stuff over there like that. I mostly will put 2A stuff on Instagram because I could do little shorts from when I'm at the range or something or talking about something. I could just put little reels up and so a lot of it gets put on Instagram. But if I need to, I have a video actually dropping tomorrow on YouTube where I got to get to the range finally to shoot a Cox Arms AR-15 that was gifted to me last year. And I just hadn't had time to get, I wanted to shoot it outdoor, and it's usually harder to get into my outdoor range. But I got in there, was able to shoot. Video will drop tomorrow with my thoughts and everything about that firearm. So, because I like shooting rifles too,
All right.
but my favorite to shoot is a pistol. I'm a pistol girl mostly.
All right. And to wrap things up, I like to ask all guests if you mind letting us know your three favorite guns.
All right. I'm gonna start with what I always tell people out of my collection. It is my favorite. It's not my best, but she my favorite, and that's my Canon SFX TP9. She and I know it's probably nostalgia because she was my first firearm, but I'm like I shoot her as is. She does not have an optic on her. I shoot her iron. She's my only firearm in my entire collection that I shoot that way. But she does every time I pull that trigger, she go okay, and I love it. So
Reliable, right?
number one
Reliable.
is number one is her. I'm gonna say number two, and this is I told you I'm a pistol girl. They all gonna be pistols. My number two, I'm gonna say, is actually I got to shoot at Arm Four. There's a creator named Mega TV, and he has this gun that he built, Porter. I'm just like, it blew my mind. It's an amazing. I one day I might purchase one. It's an amazing pistol. So it's called the Porter, by Mega Think TV. I think is his full name on social. And then third, I'm gonna say Infinity. Have you heard of the Infinity pistols? They
No,
do like a
actually, I
line
haven't.
of very It's a high end. But I trust me, I don't own it. I got to shoot one last year in Atlanta at ARM. Um, Another creator there's a couple of creators who do the higher end pistols. This is probably a $9,000 firearm. So
Okay.
of course
Okay.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course it does. And I had a great time shooting it. So yeah, I'm gonna say Infinity will be my three.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Um, can you tell us the, what can we look forward to or expect from Gina versus Gina coming up in the future?
I'm just hoping that I continue to grow in all my spaces. I consider myself to be a prepper in all the ways. I feel like 2A is a prepping element. Gardening is a prepping element. Prepping is a prepping element. So I'm always just trying to build on that. I I like to come on YouTube and Instagram to share my knowledge to help somebody who might not have that knowledge themselves. If I learn something, I want to pay it forward.
Nice. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Now, and just I guess just do you have any final words? We'll close out on that. Do you have any final words you like to close with?
I like to share that I also have a website, GinaVersusGina.com. On my website, you can learn a lot about who I am as a creator. There's also some affiliate links on there, and there's also some products that I have actually created, which one of them is actually next to me. I made a couple different planners last year. This is my garden planner that I created and have for sale on my website. My other planner was a budget planner, but it's sold out at the moment. These got restocked because they sold out as well. I restocked both, and my other planner sold out again. So if you are someone who's in the gardening space, if you ain't in the garden space, come on over to my channel and check that out because even if you decide that gardening isn't your thing, having the knowledge base on how to grow your own food in the world that we're living in, you need to do it. You need to know how to do it if you had to. So if you're somebody who would like to keep track of those things, be able to plan it out and keep a journal of it. This is a 5-year planner. You could definitely check out my website to get one of those. And as I said, come on over and check me out. I'll be live tonight. I'm actually going live to try some dragon fruit that I won. A friend in California mailed to me. I got 5 different varieties that I'm gonna try on live. But you come over there and you don't know what I'm gonna talk about day to day. We might talk about firearms, we might talk about dragon fruit, we might talk about gardening, we might talk about budgeting. I want us to be our community has so much information that we were not taught that we just need to be in the right place to get that information so that we can be better as a community.
Right on. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you see exactly why I wanted to start WarDawg Ladies. All right. Gina versus Gina is my exact example. I'm still over here stuck on what she taught me, how she just put me on game. That a man should not be purchasing and deciding on his lady, his wife, his significant other's firearm. All right. This is exactly why I needed to open my eyes, step outside of just my normal military talks, and speak to someone who I respected and appreciated for her perspective, her knowledge, intelligence, and her expertise. And I'm going to say it one more time. She just taught me, and it's going to be on my mind probably for the rest of the week, man, that just because of whatever it is you think you know, thought you knew, has nothing to do with your female wife, girlfriend, whomever, has nothing to do on her preference for the firearm that she likes, that fits her. that she, you know, finds, you know, a lot easier to use or easier to grip. This is exactly why I wanted to start WarDawg Ladies. Gina, I can't thank you enough. This is Gina versus Gina again, everyone, in Ohio. All right. And just one last time, Gina, do you have I don't know, I'm sorry, I know I already asked you, but you have anything else you'd like to say to the people before we wrap things up?
Just check me out. And stay,
Right.
because you probably gonna want to, because I'm crazy too.
Exactly. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Gina, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. All right. I wish you nothing but success in every single thing you do, and every man and woman that you reach and teach, and your everything you do, your channels, your platforms. All I can do is salute you. This is why I wanted to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on. All right. All right. Now you enjoy the rest of your day now. I appreciate you coming on. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this will wrap up episode 1 of the WarDawg Ladies with the one and only Gina versus Gina. Salute.
Hey, go crazy, go stupid, go crazy, go stupid. It's the party, time to slide the cash and buy, Get your dog, gon' get ready, time to ride, Got your hair done, and your hair cut. Makeup poppin', fellas got the Rolex. Go crazy, go stupid, go crazy, go stupid. It's a cool Friday night and yeah, I'm trying to catch a vibe. All the dogs just hit my phone and told me peace, it's time to ride. You know that I'm dead fresh every time my nigga slide. Say the first one I be moving, keep the toolie on my side, cause I'm real.